One day a wise Muslim scholar who was known for his wisdom and knowledge once told his students this story. Imagine that your life is a jar. The rocks represent the most important things in your life, such as your faith, your family, and your health. The pebbles represent the other important things in your life, such as your education, your career, and your friendships. The sand represents everything else in your life, such as the small tasks and the unimportant things. If you put the sand first into the jar, there is no room for the pebbles or the rocks. The same is true with your life. If you spend all your time and energy on the unimportant things, you will never have time for the things that are truly important to you. The Muslim scholar then went on to say, the first thing you need to do is to identify the rocks in your life. What are the things that are most important to you? What are the things that you would be willing to die for? Once you know what the rocks are, you need to put them first into jar. Once you have put the rocks in the jar, you can start to put the pebbles in. The pebbles represent the other important things in your life. They are not as important as the rocks, but they are still important. Finally, you can put the sand in the jar. The sand represents everything else in your life. It is the small tasks and the unimportant things. If you follow this advice, you will always have time for the things that are truly important to you. You will not waste your time on the unimportant things. You will live a life that is filled with meaning and purpose. The Muslim scholar then told his students a story about a man who had not prioritized the important things in his life. The man had spent all of his time and energy on his career, and he had neglected his faith, his family, and his health. One day, the man became very ill, and he realized that he had wasted his life. He had not spent enough time with his family, and he had not prayed to God as much as he should have. The man died soon after, and he regretted that he had not prioritized the important things in his life. The Muslim scholar concluded the story by saying, the jar of life is a metaphor for our lives. We need to make sure that we are filling our lives with the things that are truly important, such as our faith, our family, and our health. If we do this, we will live a life that is truly blessed. In Islam, we believe that our lives are a gift from Allah. So, prayer is a central part of Islamic life. It is a way for Muslims to connect with Allah and to seek His guidance. Prayer can help us focus our minds and clear our hearts. It can also help us to stay grateful for the blessings that we have. Charity is another important pillar of Islam. It is a way for Muslims to help those in need. Charity can help us build relationships with others and feel connected to our community. It can also help us to appreciate the things that we have. Fasting is a practice that is observed during the month of Ramadan. During Ramadan, Muslims abstain from food, drink, and sexual relations from sunrise to sunset. Fasting can help us control our desires and focus on our spiritual development. It can also help us to appreciate the blessings of food and water. The story of the jar of life is a powerful reminder that we need to prioritize the important things in our lives. If we don't, we will end up living a life that is filled with sand, and no room for the rocks. It is a reminder that we need to be mindful of how we are spending our time and energy. Are we spending our time on the things that are truly important to us, or are we wasting our time on the unimportant things? The story also reminds us that our lives are short. We should not take our lives for granted. We should make the most of our time and live our lives to the fullest. It's Inspirova Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching.